Wow, so it looks like I missed it, but Razor Guy P1. So great lap by Razor Guy. Praj in P2. Yuppie, who was on pace to try to fight for the pole, but he caught up with some traffic and compromised his lap, so he'll be started on the second row. But great qualifying from these guys. Fortunately, we had a little bit of a technical issue, so I didn't catch the tail end of all that. What up? T Widow's here. Steinmein's here now. Okay, cool. JC's here. Rusty's here. All right, cool. Hopefully this is better. Oh, what's up, young ants? How's it going? I'm looking forward to this race. I'm looking forward to our race too. I'm excited for this circuit. Actually have relatively good pace here. What up, Rob? Cali Rob's in the house. Oh, thank you, JC. I hope racing is fun. Yeah, this track is a lot of fun, young ants. JC, turn one will not be death if you have faith in your guys and leave everyone's face. So the tier two guys, the tier one guys looks like they could learn a thing or two from the tier two guys. Tier two guys giving themselves plenty of time to look at their pit strategies. No co-commentator today, Zach. Oh, Joe, you're gonna be fine, my friend. If you just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Do your race. You saw how you got some good spots at the end at Silverstone. So good luck, Joe. Who's I'm a Fiend? I'm a Fiend says at least I can watch from work. All right. Well, happy to have you. Welcome to the stream. T Widows, what up, T Widows? Says that's the problem. Faith in humanity is lost. Bro, you know we done lost that faith in humanity a long time ago. Okay, let's see. JC, I will show all the tier 2 1 guys how to get 30 seconds of penalties. Hopefully not. It looks like the guys are. Looks like the guys are making sure they got everything ready. Okay. Looks like the guys are gonna start readying up. Alright, so we got Razor Guy with P1. Really nicely done by Razor Guy. Taking the top spot from Praj. Yuppie also had a chance at that, but on his third run, his final run as the track was ramping up, he caught up to some traffic on this very narrow circuit and he got held up, but he'll start in third nonetheless. Yeah, exactly, young ants. I don't know what I would do with all that time. I'm so used to having to scramble to pick my strategy in like 10 seconds. So, to run through the order here, it looks like Vapor is down in P10, so having a little bit of a challenge to find the pace today, but Vapor is our championship points leader in that McLaren. 186 points. He's got 4 podiums so far this year. So Vapor's been doing great. In P2 in the championship, though, we've got Yuppie, 4 points adrift. Yuppie with an impressive 6 podiums and 2 wins this year in that Mercedes. Nico John's in third, but he's going to be, he's not here today, unfortunately, so we'll be missing Nico John on the grid. And Domingo's down in P4 in the racing point with 147 points. Rounding up top 5 on the driver's standing is Bro Controller in the Haas, so he's been consistent all years long. Broken is down into 14th, but look for him to make up some positions here. The guys are now on the grid. Lights are coming on. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And they're off. Pretty good start from Razor. And likewise, a pretty good start from Praj. What's going to happen here? Oh! Looks like a little bit of ghosting happened, but they get through. And everyone through turn 1 looks like cleanly. So it looks like everyone's through. So P1 we got Razor, P2 we've got Praj, P3 we got Yuppie, 4 we got Nero, P5 we got Monkey, and P6 we got Disgruntled. Really nice shot of the cars getting through the chicane. So it looks like Broken is off. Broken is off. He's gone off in turn 6 and 7 chicane. So not sure what happened. Get a nice shot of the cars here. So let's see who are the biggest movers and shakers so far. So it looks like Vapor's up 1 spot. He started in 10th. He's up into 9th. And let's go up to Nero. Nero's trying to make a move on Yuppie. He's not quite there. Scorpio's another, looks like he's gone up 3 spots since the start. So really nicely done by Scorpio so far. Scorpio, who's one of our veterans, one of our most experienced. The South African sensation, Scorpio, up into 12th. So it looks like Steve Freeman picks up a penalty, 3-second time penalty. That's unfortunate. So what are the battles that are happening here? It looks like C. Freeman is just behind Scorpio. So let's go on board to C. Freeman. C. Freeman, one of our newer reserves. You can see Scorpio placing his car in just the right parts of the track. Oh, and Razor Guy's got off. Razor Guy's got off from the lead. So he's down into 11th now. Oh, and he's lost a part of his wing. It looks like, based on the way that car is just not steering. Oh, and C. Freeman gets through. A bit rude, I would say, but he does get through. And Scorpio gets a better drive. So nicely done by Scorpio. So Razor's in the pits. He should be able to make it to the end if he goes on to the hard tire, but it's going to be a compromised race. let's go on board with, oh no, we'll see Freeman. It's still very close up here. Oh, and Monkey Mafia's off. Monkey Mafia's off in turn 5. So he must have touched that inside curve. That's unfortunate for Monkey. There's a lot of action happening. I almost don't know who to watch for the action. Let's go on board with and C. Freeman. Scorpio spun, so I'm not sure what happened. Let's go on board with T2. T2 is just behind C. Freeman. And Rusty's just behind Scorpio. Rusty gets past. So T2's chasing down C. Freeman. He's got the DRS. It's a close battle for 9th place. Young has that turn 4 overtake around the outside. That'd be a cool move, huh? So let's go up into P4. This is the battle for the podium spot. Disgruntled trying to chase down Yeppy. Yeppy, who's been so consistent. And all the guys doing well to not pick up any penalties so far. So Nero with the fastest lap. Nero doing really well. Stay ahead of Praj. Praj has got so much pace. Disgruntled takes a peek down the inside, but he's not quite there. Nice line from Yeppy to leave a little bit of space if he wanted to jump down there, but it didn't matter. So it looks like Yeppy's got enough to stay ahead here in terms of pace. Very close battle here for P3. As I say that, we're now into lap 5, so I wonder what strategies we're going to see from most everybody here. You can see that vapor. Oh, and it looks like, who is that? Pro Controller. He spun in turn 5. And Scorpio spun in turn 5 as well. Turn 5, taking no prisoners today. So let's stay on board with Disgruntled. He's within the DRS of Yeppy, but Yeppy's trying to drive away from him, but Disgruntled's doing everything he can to stay with him, and doing a pretty good job of it so far. Yeah, young ass, that really is the curve of doom. It really is. So Disgruntled is 5-6 tenths behind Yeppy. I think he's doing a pretty good job of staying with him in dirty air. But you can see here through turn 4, Yeppy takes it a little bit quicker, and he drives away a tiny bit, but not here. That was actually a pretty good turn 4 from Disgruntled. So he's right on his tail. Looks like the guys are starting to suffer a bit from tire wear. Yeppy locks up a bit into turn 6 and 7. Really nicely turned through turn 8 and 9. Flat out through turn 10, just about flat through turn 11, as Disgruntled picks up a 30-second time penalty. Unfortunate. And JC is starting to catch up to the back of these guys. So JC, he's been biding his time in P5. He's shown a lot of pace. It does look like JC has got the pace to get a top 5 result here today. Praj into the pits. So Praj going for the undercut. Praj on that 2-stopper. So he can't waste any time being held up behind people. He's got to make up a lot of time today to make up for that second pit stop. So we'll stay on board with Disgruntled. As Domingos jumps into the pits as well, so Domingos is also going for that two-stopper. He was on the soft, he's just switching out to the mediums. So it looks like at this stage of the Grand Prix, Disgruntled's got a hair more pace. He needs to get out in front. JC rather, is just behind these guys. He's staying within touching distance. Doing really well to drive away from Vapor. But Vapor's done really well as well because he started in 10th. He's up into 5th. He is on those medium tires though. And it looks like T2 earned himself a penalty. And Yuppie's into the pits. So Yuppie and JC are into the pits. Disgruntled decides to stick it out. Try the alternate strategy. So what tires are these guys going to go on? Yuppie onto the hards. JC onto the medium. So JC on the two-stopper. Yuppie on the one-stopper. Looks like, did he change that wing? I don't think so. I think he did. No, Yuppie did change that wing. Because JC came out ahead even though he came in behind. So Yuppie must have had some damage, but he'll have the new front wing, so we'll see if he can make up some time. We'll go on board with Praj because Praj and Nero both have just pit. This is for the effective lead here because the guys in front have not pit yet. Yeah, let's go Mercedes, right? Here we go. We know Yuppie's got pace here. Arguably could have had the pace for a pole position, but he got held up on his hot lap. But he can make up for that here in the race. He did have some damage, but he's got some time to make his way back through the field if he's got the pace, and I think he does. Also jumps into the pits. Disgruntled jumps into the pits. So now Vapor is out in first place. Hasn't gone onto his pit stop yet, as Praj sets the fastest lap, so those medium tires working really nicely for Praj. But Praj is committed to the two-stopper. So is Nero. Nero's committed to the two-stopper. So JC's committed to the two-stopper, Disgruntled's committed to the two-stopper, Domingo's committed to the two-stopper. The only ones that are going to go on the one-stop for sure are Rusty, Vapor, Yuppie, maybe Joe. I'm not sure what Joe's strategy is. And Praj picks up a time penalty for cutting the track there. It is turning out to be a really nice battle. We got Domingos as well. Domingos is just behind Rusty. So let's stay on board with this battle for a second. So these guys rivals in the championship. Oh, and the virtual safety's out. Not sure what happened. It looks like, oh, there's a DNF. Scorpio's out. So Scorpio's out in that Red Bull. Looks like there was an issue on the exit of turn 12. He must have lost the rear. So for those that haven't pit yet, now would be a good time. I'm looking at you, Joe. Now would be the perfect time to jump onto those hard tires. And he looks like he is jumping into the pit. It's a nice move by Joe, because this pit stop will cost him less time than it would during normal green flag racing. So Joe, one of our most consistent drivers. And who else is that? Rusty as well. Rusty's going to take this opportunity, or no, is that... Yeah, Rusty as well. Oh, and Praj gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSE. Not doing a great job of managing those deltas. So Rusty's in the pits as well. That's unfortunate for Praj, but No one else to point the finger at that one but himself, unfortunately. So Praj, he is in P3 on merit, but yeah, he's going to have to serve a drive-through here, or else he's going to risk a disqualification. So he's going to have to serve that within 3 laps or so. I wonder what he'll do here, if he tries to stay with Nero or if he just jumps into the pits to serve the drive-through. Then he looks like he's going to jump into the pit to serve the drive-through. Unfortunate for Praj. He's had great pace today, but unlucky. So let's go on board with Yuppie. Yuppie is just behind Domingos. Yuppie looks like he got some kind of wing damage on his first step. Looks like he was managing the car. Oh, and it looks like there's a car coming out of Praj. Oh, almost makes contact. Almost made a big mistake there and hit the back of Domingos, but Yuppie, one of our cleanest drivers, takes evading action to avoid contact. That would have been bad for Domingos. A lot of action happening now as the guys are getting mixed up here in the grid. And Scorpio's out, so unfortunate day for Scorpio. Not a great race for Scorpio, but we'll look for him to bounce back at the next one. You can see here, Domingo doing well to hold Yuppie behind him. This is a tough track to follow on. You lose a lot of that downforce in the dirty air. So let's go on board with Nero. Nero just set the fastest lap. Vapor trying to stretch those medium tires as long as possible. Vapor doing really well considering he started in 10th on the grid to start the race. He's up into P1. He has not pit yet, but a safety car. Oh, and JC gets past his Disgruntled, so nice move by JC. Oh, and then Disgruntled hits him wide. Not a good move by Disgruntled. I'm sure JC would agree, but they'll deal with that after the race. Praj also makes his way past. Praj saw the scuffle happening and got on the power and took the position. So nice heads-up driving from Praj. Surprised he just served the drive-through, but he's already back into P4, so nicely done by Praj so far. So it's hard to say what's happening here because Nero, Vapor's going to pit. Nero's also pitting. I wonder why he's pitting. I can't say for sure. Does he have wing damage? He doesn't have wing damage. So I wonder what his move is here. Oh, he's got a drive-through. Oh, that's unfortunate for Nero. So Vapor will continue in P1. Praj is back up into P3. Disgruntled into P2. JC picking up a 3-second time penalty. So JC's sticking with these guys relatively well. Yeah, that VSC drive-through is tough. The thing about those deltas is you stay way below them, and then people from behind you catch up. And if you ride that fine line too closely, you can easily get a penalty when it goes back to green flag racing. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing, young Ed. So Nero now is also just on the back of this pack of cars. Nero, who was in the effective lead, but he also looks like he picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. And yep, he's still behind Domingos. Domingos doing really well today to hold his championship contender behind him. And it looks like Nero made a move on JC. Took the inside line, braked as late as could be, and got the position. So nicely done by Nero. And Nero now is going to try to catch up to the back of Praj. Oh, and JC goes a little wide there. So on board with disgruntled out the back of his car. You can see Praj just behind him in third, Nero in fourth, JC in fifth. Domingos as well. He's in sixth. He's got Yuppie just behind him in seventh. Looks like a lot of these guys have very similar pace, so it makes it very difficult to make the pass, even with the RS. So Yuppie's starting to lose touch a little bit with Domingos, but he does pick up a little bit more time. And Vapor's into the pits. So Vapor doing his one and only stop today, but that puts Disgruntled into the lead. Praj in second, but these guys aren't going to have to pit again. Nero in third. He will have to pit again. Oh, and Praj goes a little wide there. So JC's just behind them. Ooh, very, very, very close here with the top three. So it looks like here the one-stoppers are going to win out, because when everyone else pits, the top five are going to have to pit again. That means Yuppie, if he can make those tires last, will be in first. And Vapor will be in second, but the top five who would come out behind them, they are going to be on faster tires, so it's anybody's race still. It's hard to say. Yuppies gets past Domingos. Oh, and a little bit of a touch. Very hard racing from these guys. Domingos stays ahead. So nice defensive driving from Domingos. We'll see what Yuppie can do on the straight. He's got the DRS. Oh, but there's a lot of action going on between the top three as well. He doesn't quite make it. Oh, and Nero gets around Disgruntled. A lot of shuffling of the positions, so Praj is back in the lead. Praj back in the lead. Domingos doing well to hold Yuppie behind him, so Domingos is in P5, Yuppie in P6. Domingos with the elbows out today. So I'm not sure what's happening here with Yuppie, but he does know that once Domingos pits, that he'll be able to get ahead. But it still could be some laps before that happens. Oh, and C. Freeman's out, so not sure what happened with C. Freeman. Let's go on board with Nero. Nero almost was able to make a move into turn one behind Praj. Loses the rear end a little bit. And now Yuppie also taking a sniff, maybe looking at a move, but he's not quite close enough. So Domingo's doing incredibly well. Really nice camera angle as the guys flat out go through turn three, turn four. Looks like someone is off. That might be Nero's. Oh, and Nero's. And he just clipped the wall ever so slightly, and he's out of the race. That's that front left tire. So he'll be furious. Oh, that's unfortunate. So what happens here? Because now it's VSC. Yeah, rip Nero. I caught the tail end of that, so unfortunately that moment's going to live on forever in infamy. F in the chat, boys. F in the chat. R.I.P. to the homie Nero. So what does Yuppie do? Does he go into the pits? He does not. He holds his position on track. It's back to green flag racing anyways. So Yuppie's very close. He's going to be able to go for a move. Domingos goes to cover the inside. Side by side to turn one. And Yuppie's just ahead into turn three. So nicely done by Yuppie. Finally got the move done. Yeah, T1, thank you. F. So it looks like Joe moves up into P10. Rusty's into the pits. I'm not sure why Rusty's in the pits, but he's on fresh tires nonetheless. Oh, and Yuppie spun. Yuppie spun on the exit of turn 4, the fast left-hander over the crest and into turn 5. That is unfortunate for Yuppie. Razor will take a position there. Wow, so not sure what happened with Yuppie. He lets his opponent pass. He must be compromised in some way. We'll see if he has any wing damage. It looks like he may have some wing damage based on the way he's driving. Let's see if we can get a shot at the camp. Yeah, that front left, he's compromised, so he's going to have to pit. Wow. Disgruntled into the pits. He's going to go into his last pair of tires. Oh, he doesn't. He must have got a drive-through. Disgruntled got a drive-through. He must have been speeding under that VSC as well. So a lot of moving around's happening. Oso, I think he started in... What position did he start in? Yeah, he started in 9th. He's up into 5th, so really nicely done by Oso today. He's been consistent. Now he's back into the top 5. I do believe he's going to have to pit again, though. Vapor looking really nicely here because the guys ahead are going to have to pit again. If he can stay at this gap behind him, he should inherit the lead when everyone pits. It's a really nice race from Vapor today. This could look like his first win today with the way everything is happening. The disgruntled Lenoso, this is a battle for P5. The Ferrari trying to chase down that Haas. These guys both showing great pace. T2 gets another penalty. Disgruntled was taking a sniff down the inside, but was too far back. But he did think about it. And the battle continues into turn 4, or excuse me, 3. The left hand over the crest, left-hander, turn 4 and turn 5. These guys are so close on pace. Meanwhile, Vapor's trying to chase down Domingos. I think Vapor will do well for himself if he can stay close to Domingos, catch that DRS. That'll help him to create a bigger gap to the cars behind because the cars ahead are going to have to pit. So back on board with Disgruntled, the battle for P5. Oh, and Disgruntled's in the pits. So Disgruntled into the pits. So Razor Guy's up into P5. So Razor Guy, who spun today, he's been doing well to get himself back up that grid. He's in the top 5. He's on the tires that'll take him to the end. He could make up even more positions here. if he continues to push and get clean, consistent laps. So Disgruntled's out of the pits, and looks like Joe has gotten past. So really nice from Joe today. His tires are going to make it to the end. Disgruntled is on faster tires, but he's going to have to make his way around. So we'll stay on board with Disgruntled. So 14 laps still to go. Looks like Razor in P5 is closing in on Oso in P4. And the lead runners, first and second, Praj and JC, are in the pits. Praj in the pits. So Vapor into the lead. Praj in second. It looks like he'll be about just under 6 seconds behind, 5.6 behind. So he's going to have 13 laps to try to make up 5.5 seconds of time. Disgruntled gets past. And who's that coming out of the pits? Oso in 7th coming out of the pits. Ooh, very close call there. But nice driving from the both of them. So Oso into 8th on fresh tires. These guys should be able to drive away from Joe. They're on the fresh medium tires, but Joe can do well for himself if you can stay onto the back of them and hold on to that slipstream. That'll help him to create a gap. Or try to stay away from Yuppie, who's hard charging from behind. Yuppie, who's had a very tough day, but he can still score some good points if he keeps his head down and keeps pushing. So JC now trying to chase down Monkey. So Monkey, he pit on, let's see, looks like Monkey pit on lap 5 onto those hard tires. I believe Monkey had some sort of wing damage or something from contact. So Monkey's really going to have to stretch those hard tires if he wants to make him to last to the end. It won't be an easy feat, and you'll have to try to hold JC off at the same time. So Monkey's got an enormous task ahead of him here to try to hold JC behind as he conserves his tires ahead. This will be a nice challenge for Monkey. And you can see here JC is starting to gain a little bit on these fresh mediums. But Monkey doing well. Taking those apexes nicely, not missing any corners, being consistent. We'll see what happens. We'll stay on board. Through the penultimate corner. Through the final corner. So he is within DRS range. Oh, and yep, he's out. Not sure what happened. It may be some connection issues. So JC, he's still 6/10 behind Monkey. 4/10 behind. Really nice driving by the pair of these guys. Ooh, very dangerous there to get on that inside curve. So it looks like Praj is starting to close the gap really nicely to Vapor. That was 5.5 seconds or so, 5.6, and it's now down to less than a second. So this is going to be the battle for the lead. Vapor, who still hasn't claimed his first victory here in our Performance Racing League Tier 2 so far this. But neither has Praj. So both of these guys are vying for their first ever win this season. Pride showing him the car, daring him to brake later than he should, but Vapor does well to hit his brake point. JC again is getting closer and closer to Monkey. Praj tucked up right behind him before they get into turn 4. So we'll see what Vapor can put together for a defense. And thank you everyone. For those that are tuned in, this is the Performance Racing League Development Tier 2 Round 13 Hungary GP. So we're definitely past the halfway point of Season 1. Vapor points leader, he's in the lead. Praj, one of our newer full-time drivers, who's shown incredible pace, he's in P2. Both of these guys, neither one has scored a win yet so far this year. You can see that they're both pushing hard for the win. Praj, DRS open. Vapor looks like Praj is going to make the pass. Really nicely done by Praj, really nicely done by Vapor to give each other just enough room. So now Vapor's task is going to be to try to stay with Praj. Praj is on the faster tire, but it's still anybody's game. But it does look like Praj is starting to drive away a bit. Meanwhile, JC is still trying to make a pass on Monkey. And meanwhile, Razor Guy, who spun early in the race, he's into the podium spots. Looks like he's got the pace to stay ahead of Monkey behind him. So Razor Guy, who has not scored a podium yet this year, this could be his first podium. He's going to have to keep pushing for now. So Praj already started to drive away. He's 2 seconds adrift of Vapor. So at this point, it looks like Vapor is either going to have to push really hard, or he's going to have to hold back and conserve these tires and bring the car home. Let's go on board with JC. JC is 3/10 behind Monkey. This battle continues. As it looks like, who is that? Yuppie is just behind Pro Controller and Rusty. This is the battle for P10. So Yuppie's had a really tough day today, but it'll be pushing till the end. Oh, Rusty locks up. Rusty locks up and he gets passed by 2 guys. Broken and Yuppie. So the guys pounce when they saw some blood. So it looks like JC is starting to lose touch a little bit with Monkey, so he must have put a wheel wide somewhere. Monkey doing really nicely to stay ahead. Let's go back on board with Yuppie. So this is a battle for the top 10 spot. Broken goes a little wide. So it looks like Yuppie should be able to make a move on this next entrance into the straight. We'll see. Oh, he gets a little bit, he loses the rear a little bit there, Broken. That compromises him on his exit. We'll see if he gets a good exit here. He gets a pretty good exit here, but so does Yuppie. He's got the DRS. Broken's out of ERS, but I think he's too far back. But he's going to try a move. He's too far back. So he's going to try and move around the outside. Let's see how this ends up working out. He's around. He's around on the outside. Really nicely done by Yuppie. Very nice move. Yuppie up into P10. Let's go on board with Razor Guy, because Razor Guy is now starting to catch Vapor. It does look like Praj should be able to hold on to this win as long as he doesn't pick up too many more time penalties. So Razor, again, trying to chase down Vapor. The battle for P2. So Vapor doing really nicely to hold Razor behind him, but we also got to keep in mind that Vapor's got the fresher tires, so Razor Guy's at a disadvantage there. This seems to be the closest battle on track. Everything else is more than a second. These guys are 6-7 tenths apart from each other. Vapor's doing well to hold him off. But now, Praj has got a time penalty, Vapor's got a time penalty, Razor does not. So Razor, this newest update does show you when your opponents in front and behind you have these penalties, so I think he knows that if he just sticks with them, he'll inherit that second position. So now disgruntled in 7th, he's trying to chase down Domingos in 6th. Domingos has had a really nice race so far today. And Broken is off. Turn 5, claims another victim. Broken's off, so Broken, who was up in the spots, now he finds himself down into 12th, and he's still got 4.5 more laps to go on these 12-lap-old mediums. You can see he's struggling with the rear. So let's go on board with Razor Guy, because Razor Guy is now getting very close to Vapor. This is Razor Guy trying to chase down Vapor in P2. T2, the driver, just up ahead is the lap car in the other McLaren. Vapor doing well to hold him off. We'll see what happens here on the straight. Razor gets a great exit. He makes a move to the inside. They're both on the brakes into turn 1. Razor's got the inside. He gets the job done. Into turn 2. He stays ahead. So nicely done by Razor. And JC gets past Domingos on the inside of turn 1. So nice move at JC. And now Osa's going to try to chase down Yuppie. Also on the fresher tires, he's got the DRS, but he's not quite close enough. So the guys have 3.5 more laps to go. Domingos is staying nicely with JC. So Domingos, if he stays with him, he'll have a chance to pass him back on that main straight. JC, who best position so far is 6th place in his first race with us at France. He's on track to beat that. He's on track to get a 5th place result here today. But Domingos is trying to see if he can do something about that. And he gets around on the outside. They leave each other just enough room. It looks like Domingos is going to be able to stay ahead. Really nicely done by Domingos. Really nicely moved. Will is in the house. How's it going, Will? Oh, and a little bit of contact between JC and Domingos. I don't think there was any wing damage, no. And now Disgruntled is behind. He wants a bit of the action. Good, bro. Good to hear, bro. We're joined in the chat by world-famous commentator Will Ans. One of the best to do it out there. Will is the president of the Yuppie Hot Lap Fastest Lap fan club. Cam, who's one-upping Will about the Yuppie fan club. Cam is the president of the Monkey Mafia fan club. Looks like there's a fan club battle going on in the chat, everybody. So who's the closest battle on track right now? Looks like Disgruntled, who's 1.3 behind Domingos. So it looks like there's going to be a fight in the chat between Will and Cam. The battle of the fan clubs. JC picks up a penalty. So that's unfortunate for JC. Be curious to see how these positions play out after the race, after everyone crosses the line. Do you think the closest battle on track is this one? So Disgruntled trying to chase down Domingos. Domingos doing incredibly well here today. So hold on to that top 5. Domingos, who's been consistent this year, a lot of top 10 finishes. His best result so far this year is 4th at Baku and France. It looks like he'll be able to hold on to this 5th position, but they're on their last lap. Disgruntled goes a little bit wide. But he's still there, 4 tenths behind. Both of them on same tire life. Disgruntled picks up a 10th or so there. T2 with another penalty. Unfortunate for T2. He's having a tough day. So what can Disgruntled do here? Is he going to be able to get close enough to make a move? Does he have the grip? Does he have the confidence in the car and the tires? He gets a great exit there. But he's running out of time. Domingos placing his car in just the right spots to make it hard to pass, showing his experience. But Domingos right on the apex, not missing a beat. And Domingos is able to stay ahead. Wow. Nice driving from Domingos. But Praj with the win. Congratulations to Praj. His first win. Razor in P2. Vapor, really nice drive to P3. Monkey in P4. Nicely done to Monkey. Brilliant defense by Domingos in P5. Nice showing from Disgruntled P6. JC in 7th. Nice drive from JC. Really nice drive from Joe, P8. Also P9. Yuppie, really tough day from Yuppie, but he soldiered on. He'll get a 10th place finish today. Wesley in 11th, just behind him in the other. So, tough day for some, but good points for others. So with that, Vapor's going to increase the gap in his championship lead to Yuppie behind him. Domingos will make up some points to the gap ahead to Yuppie and Nico John. But really nicely done by Praj today. Really nicely done. Praj, who had a drive-through penalty, but he soldiered on, he kept his head down, he put in the clean, fast laps, and it paid off. So again, this is your final order. Really nicely done by Praj today. Tough day for Yuppie. Tough day for Nero. We saw his tire explode. And we did have DNFs of Nero and Scorpio. But this is a good points haul for Vapor. Obviously good points haul for Praj and Razor, but also for Domingos. Yuppie down into P10. Vapor and Domingos is going to score a lot more points than Yuppie today, so they'll be able to close that gap. And for Vapor, he'll be able to increase that gap. But that's going to do it for us. So thank you for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow for the Tier 1 race. Take care, everybody.